Hi friends! This week I'm going to talk about Couchsurfing, so this is a pretty requested video. A lot of people have asked why I do it, is it safe, and things like that, so I thought I'd address those questions and take you on a little walk with me this morning. So we'll get to it.
See you wipe off the grin because you thought I'd forget that you should. Beat me down on my knees, baby, begging you please, misunderstood. While you're lying to rest, think it over again. I hope that sometimes it's...
Okay, so to start, you might be wondering what even is Couchsurfing. So Couchsurfing is this platform that connects surfers with hosts. Mainly, I've been surfing with people, so this means that I can request to stay with them. If hosts have an extra bed or a couch or an extra room, they can offer that up, and it's free to stay. It's a really incredible community. You meet so many unique people, and you get to experience travel in a completely different way rather than staying in hotels or hostels. It's my preferred method of traveling, and I've met so many interesting people through this way.
Tricks, but now I'm better than this, 'cause the truth is that we can't be friends because you never played by the rules. Think of all your regrets and all that you said.
A lot of people ask, is Couchsurfing safe? What's in it for the host? Why are they hosting people? And questions like that. Oh, you can hear the geese out there. I'd say just like anything, you have to have your wits about you and do your due diligence when you are requesting to stay with people. So when you want to find a host in a certain city, you go to the city and put in your dates and everything, and then there's this huge filtering section. So this is where I filter things, so I always put has references. At the beginning I used to put that they're verified, but I felt like this limited a lot of people, and like it doesn't even matter if they were verified or not. Verified means that they have purchased an account and can, for example, send out unlimited requests. So I've done this just because I was using Couchsurfing so much. When I filter people, I make sure they have references. That's kind of where I start, and I kind of sift through everyone. You can also filter by male and female and languages that people speak and things like that. So that's pretty cool. So there's a massive military plane flying up above. So the main thing, I think, just to make sure when you are requesting to stay with someone is make sure that they have references. This is the biggest thing. You can see what they're like, other people can vouch for them. That's really important, especially as a solo female traveler. However, my first time Couchsurfing, I didn't have any references and my host didn't have any references either. And I took a gamble on that and it was absolutely fine and I had a really enjoyable time. The other thing that's really important is clicking the home section. So a lot of times in the home section, the host will put down if you'll be staying in your own room, if you'll be on the couch. Sometimes they put that they're sharing a bed, so just kind of whatever you're comfortable with, I would kind of check through that. But I have been really lucky a lot of times. I've had my own bedroom with my own bathroom and just sharing the kitchen with them and things like that. When people ask what's in it for the host, a lot of people that are hosting are actually travelers themselves. They might just be working a job wherever they are and they can't get out traveling, so having international travelers coming through kind of gives them that sense of wanderlust, and they can experience like other cultures while still being at home. And also, once you're finished staying with someone, you leave them a reference. If they want to go traveling soon too, they can acquire some references. And also, it's just a really great way to meet people around the world. So while I was in Malaysia, I couchsurfed in Kuala Lumpur. So my hosts are Indonesian, and they actually invited me to come to Indonesia with them and attend one of their weddings there. Apparently they're massive and so many people come. And they also invited me to Ramadans. Just by getting out there and being on Couchsurfing, you really meet a lot of different people. While I was in Singapore, I went to a Couchsurfing meetup and met other expats and hosts and surfers, and we all just got a drink together. There's normally like a little community of couch surfers in towns kind of all over, really. If you type in anywhere, people are hosting, and it's a really great way to meet people without even hosting or surfing. So that's another way I think a lot of people can get involved with the couch surfing community.
Is that we can't be friends because you never played.
We're gonna risk it all. I could do this as a kid so much easier, but have my hands full. She is beauty and she is grace. So some people might be wondering, how long should I request to stay with hosts and things like that? I normally stay 2 to 3 nights. I think this is a perfect time to get to know the host, see if you like them, kind of explore the city with them if they're available. I don't ever request to stay any longer. If I am in a city for longer, I often try and get 2 different hosts. And if I really hit it off with the first host, they can extend my stay. But again, I feel a little weird asking more than a few days just because that is their home and I don't want to have any crazy expectations from them. But I have known people that have stayed many weeks with some hosts and it's worked out, but I think just err on the side of caution and stay a few days first and then extend your stay with them after, especially just because they are hosting you and they may have other plans. Yeah, I normally request 2 to 3 days and I have pretty much always had a great experience with that. It's actually so crazy. My brother and I were out here a couple weeks ago and this was all flooded. The water was running so fast. I'm actually gonna walk down to the rapids part and I'll see how much it might still be running, so we'll see. This was all flooded. Water was running through here from over there. Crazy. We've had a few sunny days and I guess it's all gone. So you can hear the river behind me, so beautiful back here. So just gonna go on to kind of like etiquette when you are staying at someone's house. If possible, it'd be amazing if you could just stay in contact over text or WhatsApp and things like that rather than the Couchsurfing app. I have been guilty of this, that I haven't had a phone plan in some countries such as Malaysia and Singapore, and it was more challenging for me to get in contact with my hosts and I feel bad for that. But overall, I think just having open communication with them is a really good idea. Oftentimes they'll give you a key, but if not, you might have to be getting in contact with them when you'll be coming and going, and for example when you're exploring the city and they're at work, whatever. Oh, we have another plane going up above. Another thing to mention is you have access to their kitchen. Just make sure you clean up after yourself. If you are staying in like the living room, make sure your space is clean, just like as you would anybody's house. Just make sure you are respectful because it is their space and they're letting you stay in it for free, so that's just really important, just that you respect your host. Someone else has been spotted. Okay, so it looks like this is some type of really sketchy rope swing, and I'm not sure if you can tell by the camera, but this is literally like 1 foot deep and I don't know what the intentions of this are. So it's really important to know how to write a good Couchsurfing request. That's how you're going to get accepted into different people's homes. So I think it's important just to read the full profile, see if you'll get along with them, and then make sure you give them their dates. So normally I say, hi, my name's Gabby, I'm traveling through like Australia. I've just been to Southeast Asia for like 6 weeks, whatever. Be here from this date to this date. This is what I plan on doing in the city, blah, 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 blah. Looks like you've been to Egypt, I don't know. I really want to go there, things like that. Like I just talk about them, talk about their profile, and I don't send generic messages. I do have a little bit of a template, it makes it a little bit easier, but I don't send out the same thing to every person. You don't really have a high success rate with that at all. So I already talked about what's in it for the host, but I thought I'd mention what's in it for you besides a free place to stay. So you meet really incredible people all around the world. I have connections all around the world now of places I can go and revisit friends that I've met. A few times I've re-stayed with hosts, so I went to Vienna twice when I was backpacking Europe. When I was in Lisbon, I couch-surfed with someone, and when I was flying back home to Canada, I had a 24-hour layover in Lisbon again and stayed with him there. It's really cool. You meet a lot of really fun people, and I'm still in contact with a lot of them. My host in Malta messaged me the other day and asked how I was doing during all this quarantine. It's a really neat community, and I do stay in touch with a lot of the people that I've surfed with. Might also be wondering, like, I don't feel comfortable staying with hosts by myself yet. Can I surf in pairs? And you definitely can. When I was backpacking with Sophie, we couch surfed a lot together. It is a really nice way. For example, Sophie had never couch surfed before, so it was a good introduction to that. Again, you can stay how many people are staying, so you can change that to 2 people, 3 people, whatever. And it was a really great experience. I just recommend when you are making these requests, make sure the other person also has a profile so the host can go check them out, and also linking your social media and whatever is another good way, just so they can see what this person's about and kind of feel if they want you guys coming to their house. So another thing that isn't tied to the website Couchsurfing per se, but just informal Couchsurfing. So for example, before I go traveling, I often put out a post like where I'm going to ask people if they know anyone in the area, and this actually worked a lot of times. People have given me recommendations of things to do, but also places to stay. One time when we were staying in an Airbnb in Germany, we got along really well with the host. He took us on a wine tasting tour and we just hung out with them a lot. And then he said, oh, I have a sister in the south of France, I'll give you her info and you should contact her, and when you guys go to the south of France, you should go check her out. So we messaged his sister and ended up staying with her in the south of France in her beautiful home, and it was a really unique experience. And again, just talking to people where you're going, it's really interesting how many people are all over the world that are more than willing to host you. Again, in Germany, when I was on exchange, I had a friend that went to the University of Constance. She wasn't going to be there when we were going through Constance, but she said she had a friend and he gave up his room for us, and we stayed with him for a few days, and he showed us all around the town. And so people are more than willing to host you. Even more recently, funny, when I was in Australia, I had so many friends that I'd met traveling and people from Canada that were staying there. Honestly, just use your resources. There's a lot more ways to stay with people than just actually couchsurfing, and it's really great. It's honestly the best time when someone knows the place and they can show you all the local spots. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any more questions about couchsurfing, shoot me a message. I'm more than happy to answer any of them. I've been couchsurfing for the last 4 years. I've couchsurfed all across Europe, a few places in Canada, some places in Southeast Asia and Australia, and I've had nothing but good experiences. There's so many great people in the world, and this platform makes it really easy to connect with them. I've had so many different unique experiences that I wouldn't have had if I was staying in hostels or hotels, and it just really makes it affordable. And yeah, honestly, there isn't much bad things to say about couchsurfing. I think it's one of the best and unique ways to travel, and I think everyone should at least try it one time and see if it's for them. I'll leave you guys here, but again, thank you guys so much, and I hope you start couchsurfing. Bye!